Is matter around us pure? Chapter 2. Classification of matter. Matter is classified on the basis of the physical state, that three main types: solids, liquids and gases. On the basis of chemical composition, matter is classified into two main types, that is pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are of two types. They are elements and compounds. Mixtures are of two types. They are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Pure substances and mixtures. Pure substance is a substance which consists of a single type of substance, whether it is element or compound. For example, iron, copper, hydrogen, oxygen, water, sugar, common salt and etc. many more. Mixtures. Mixture is a substance which consists of two or more pure substances. For example, seawater, minerals, soil, air, sand and salt, sugar in water, salt in water, etc. Now we go through the differences between the pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances consist of a single type of substance, whereas mixtures consist of two or more substances. Pure substances. Pure substance cannot be separated into other substances by physical methods, whereas mixtures can be separated into its components by physical methods. Pure substances has its own definite properties, whereas mixtures shows the property of its components. Types of mixtures. Mixtures are of two types. They are homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture is a mixture which has a uniform composition throughout. The particles of the mixture are not visible by the naked eye. Particles cannot be separated by filtration. The mixture is stable, that is, the particles do not settle down. The path of a beam of light is not visible in the mixture. For example, mixture of sugar in water, mixture of salt in water, mixture of copper sulfate in water, etc. Heterogeneous mixture. It is a mixture which has non-uniform composition. The particles are visible by the naked eye. The particles can be separated by filtration. The mixture is unstable, that is, the particles of the mixture settle down when left undisturbed. The path of the beam of the light is visible in the mixture. For example, mixture of salt and sand, mixture of sulfur and iron filings, mixture of oil and water, etc. True solution. A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Solution has a solvent and a solute as its component. The component in the larger amount is the solvent and the component in the lesser amount is the solute. For example, solution of salt in water, solution of sugar in water, iodine in water or tincture iodine, soda water, etc. In these solutions, for example, if we take salt solution, so in solution of salt and water, the salt is the solute and water is the solvent. Salt is present in less amount and water is present in large amount. Properties of true solution. True solution is a homogeneous mixture. The particles cannot be seen by naked eye. The solute particles cannot be separated by filtration method. Solute particles do not settle down and the solution is stable. The particles do not scatter a beam of light passing through it, and the path of light is not visible in the solution. Colloidal solution. Colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture of two or more substances. For example, mixture of starch in water, mixture of egg albumin in water, milk, air containing dust and smoke, etc. are all examples of colloidal solutions. Properties of colloidal solution. Colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture. The particles cannot be seen by naked eye. Solute particles cannot be separated by filtration method. Solute particles do not settle down and the solution is stable. The particles scatter beam of light passing through it and the path of light is visible in the solution. Suspension. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture of two or more substances. For example, solution of sand in water, solution of chalk powder in water, etc. Properties of suspension. Suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. The particles can be seen by naked eye. The solute particles can be separated by filtration. The solute particles settle down and the solution is unstable. The particles scatter a beam of light passing through it and the path of light is visible in the solution. Here in the diagram we can see that different suspension properties. The first is the solute particles can be separated by simple filtration process. Then the solute particles, they settle down when the solution is left undisturbed. So we say that the suspension is unstable. And in third, solute particles scatter the light and the path of light is visible. You can easily see the path of light through the solution. Tyndall effect. When a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, the colloidal particles scatter the beam of light and the path of light becomes visible in the solution. This effect is called Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect can be seen when light enters a room through a small hole due to scattering of light by the dust and smoke particles present in the air. Tyndall effect can be seen in a dense forest due to scattering of light by water droplets in the mist. In the examples, in the pictures, you can see the scattering of light, and this scattering of light is called as the Tyndall effect. These are the examples showing Tyndall effect. Saturated solution. Saturated solution is a solution which cannot dissolve any more of the solute at a given temperature. Solubility. Solubility of a substance is the amount of solute present in a saturated solution of a substance. Unsaturated solution is a solution which can dissolve some more of the solute at a given temperature. Here is an activity showing the preparation of a saturated solution. Take 50 ml of water in 2 beakers. Add salt in 1 beaker with continuous stirring till no more salt dissolves in it. Similarly, add sugar in the other beaker with continuous stirring till no more sugar dissolves in it. we get saturated solutions of salt and sugar. If the mixtures are heated, it dissolves some more of the solute, that is sugar or salt. The solubility of different substances are different. The solubility of substances varies with temperature. If we increase the temperature, solubility increases. If we decrease the temperature, solubility decreases. Concentration of solution. Concentration of solution is the amount of solute present in a given amount of solvent or solution. It can be calculated by using the formula concentration of a solution equals to the amount of solute upon amount of solvent, or we can also write as amount of solute divided by the amount of solution. Concentration of a solution can be expressed as mass by mass percentage or as mass by volume percentage. Mass by mass percentage of a solution can be calculated by writing mass of solute divided by mass of solution multiplied by 100. Similarly, we can calculate mass of volume percentage of a solution. Here, it can be calculated as mass of solute divided by volume of solution multiplied by 100. So, in this way, we can calculate mass by mass percentage of a solution or mass by volume percentage of a solution. Separating the components of a mixture. In a mixture, as we know that the components are not in a fixed ratio because mixture is a heterogeneous substance. So, the components of a heterogeneous mixture, it can be separated by simple methods like handpicking, sieving, filtration, etc. Sometimes special techniques are used to separate the components of mixture. These are evaporation, centrifugation, decantation, which is used by using separating funnel, sublimation, centrifugation, chromatography, and distillation and fractional distillation. First of all, we'll discuss about evaporation. This method is used for separating a volatile component or solvent from non-volatile component or solute by heating the mixture. Here, volatile component means the component which absorbs the heat and convert into the different state or changes its state. For example, ink is a mixture of a dye and water. If some ink is heated in a dish, the water evaporates. So, water is evaporating, that means water is a volatile component. So, water evaporates and the dye is left in the dish. Similarly, we can separate the mixture of salt and water or sugar and water by evaporation. When we heat it, water gets evaporated and the remaining component is left in the dish. Centrifugation. This method of separating denser particles and lighter particles from a mixture by using a centrifuging machine. This process is called centrifugation. Example, if we take some milk in a centrifuging machine and spin it rapidly, the cream separates from the milk because cream is less dense than milk. Here, these are the machines which are used for centrifugation. Decantation using separating funnel. This method is used for separating a mixture of immiscible liquids. Immiscible means the two liquids does not mix with each other. They are in a separate position, but they are placed together. So liquids separate into different layers depending on their densities. The heavier substance which is having high density will settle at the bottom, and the lighter component or the lighter liquid which is having less density will float on the top. For example, if we take a mixture of kerosene oil and water in a separating funnel, it forms a separate layers of oil and water. The water can be separated by opening the stop cock of the separating funnel. After that, the water flows out and then the stop cock can be closed, so that we have kerosene in the separating funnel and water is separated from the kerosene oil. Sublimation. This method is used to separate a mixture of sublimable components from a non-sublimable component by heating the mixture. Sublimable components are the components which, on gaining the heat, changes its states and convert into the different state, that is, from solid state convert into the vapor state instead of going through the liquid state. For example, if a mixture of ammonium chloride and common salt is heated, ammonium chloride sublimes, that means ammonium chloride on gaining heat changes its state from solid to the vapor state, and afterwards when cooled it solidifies and can be collected and the salt is left behind. So from this method, from sublimation, we can separate ammonium chloride from salt. Chromatography. This method is used for separating colored components from a liquid by using a filter paper or a blotting paper. For example, we put a drop of ink near one end of a strip of a filter paper and dip the end of the paper in a test tube containing water. Ink is a mixture of two or more colored components. The component which is more soluble in water rises faster and gets separated from the others. In the diagram, you can see the different components of the ink have been separated. Distillation. Distillation is the method which is used for separating a mixture of miscible liquids by boiling the mixture and cooling and condensing the vapors. In this process, we get the pure form of the substance. Simple distillation is used for separating a mixture of two miscible liquids where the two liquids are mixed together, they dissolve with each other, and then we are separating the two liquids. This is done by simple distillation because they are having a sufficient difference in their boiling points. For example, if a mixture of acetone and water is heated in a distillation apparatus, the acetone, which has lower boiling point than water, it boils first and it converts into the vapor form, then it is cooled by the condenser and then it's separated from the water in the another test tube. Fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is used for separating a mixture of two or more miscible liquids whose difference in boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin. The apparatus used for fractional distillation is similar to that used for simple distillation, except that fractionating column is fitted between the distillation flask and the condenser. The fractionating column has glass beads which increases the surface area for the vapors to cool and condense. Fractional distillation is used for separating the components of petroleum, separating the different gases from air. Separation of components of air. Air is a mixture of gases. The components of air can be separated by fractional distillation. Air is compressed by increasing the pressure and cooled by decreasing the temperature to get it converted into liquid air. The liquid air is then allowed to warm up slowly in a fractional distillation column. Then the different components of the air are separated at different heights depending on the difference in their boiling points. Here you can see the flow chart that air is compressed and cooled by increasing the pressure and decreasing the temperature. By this increasing the pressure and decreasing temperature convert the air from gaseous form to the liquid form. Now this liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in a fractional distillation column so that the gases get separated at different heights. The boiling points of oxygen is 183, argon is 186 and nitrogen is minus 196 degrees Celsius. Purification of solids by crystallization. Crystallization is the process of obtaining pure solid in the form of crystals from their solution. For example, by crystallization we can obtain pure copper sulfate from its solution. For this, we can go through an activity that dissolve about 5 gram of copper sulfate in minimum amount of water. After dissolving, filter the solution to remove the impurities. Then, evaporate the solution in a china dish to get saturated solution. Now, cover the solution with a filter paper and allow it to cool. Afterwards, we find that the pure copper sulfate crystals are formed. Types of pure substances. Pure substances are of two types. They are elements and compounds. First of all, we'll discuss about elements. Element is the basic form of matter which cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical reactions. Elements are of three types. They are metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now, first of all, we'll discuss about the properties of metals. Metals have luster, that means they are shiny in appearance. They are malleable and ductile, that means they can be made into thin sheets and can be made into wires. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. They are sonorous, that means they can produce sound. For example, iron, aluminium, zinc, mercury, copper, silver, gold, etc. These all are metals. Properties of non-metals. Non-metals do not have luster, that means they are not shiny. They are not malleable or ductile. Non-metals cannot be converted into sheets or into wires. They are poor conductors of heat and electricity. They are not sonorous, that means non-metals do not produce sound. For example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, iodine, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. These all are the examples of non-metals. Now, next, the third one is metalloids. So, we will discuss about the properties of metalloids. Metalloids are elements which show some properties of metals and some properties of non-metals. That means they show some properties of metals also as well as some properties of non-metals also. For example, boron, silicon, germanium, etc. Compound. Compound is a substance which is composed of two or more elements which are chemically combined together in a fixed ratio. Here in compound, ratio is fixed. If the ratio is not fixed, then that substance is said to be as mixture, not a compound. So, compounds are the substances which are composed of two or more elements chemically combined together in a fixed ratio. For example, water, because in water the formula of water is H2O. That means two hydrogens are combined with one oxygen. Carbon dioxide, CO2. One carbon is combined with two oxygen. Sugar formula, for sugar formula we can take a simple sugar, that is glucose, C6H12O6. So C6, that means 6 carbon are there, 12 hydrogen is there, 6 hydrogen is there, C6H12O6. okay, so 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygen. Once again, 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygen. So the number of the subcomponents are fixed in compounds. Now here we'll discuss about the differences between mixtures and compounds. In mixtures is composed of two or more elements or compounds mixed together, whereas in compound composed of two or more elements chemically combined together. Here the elements are combined in a chemical manner, whereas in mixture they are simply mixed. The composition of components in mixtures is mixed in any ratio, whereas in compounds the composition of the component is in a fixed ratio. Mixtures shows the properties of the components, whereas compound shows different properties than the components. Mixtures, the components can be separated by simple physical method, whereas in compound the components cannot be separated only by chemical methods.